Have you ever heard a story that made your hair stand on end and sent shivers down your spine? This is one of those tales. It's a story about a Filipino educator who experienced something so chilling, she could hardly believe it herself. As you listen to her story, you'll start to feel the unease creep up on you, your heart rate quickening with each passing moment. It's a tale that will make you question what you believe, and leave you wondering if there's more to this world than what meets the eye. So sit back, and prepare to be scared. Welcome to Eerie Encounters and Hauntings. We are thrilled to have you join us for 2 new spine-tingling tales of the paranormal each week, stories that will make you shiver with fear and keep you on the edge of your seat. From haunted houses to possessed objects, we have the most bone-chilling tales of the supernatural. Get ready for a terrifying journey into the unknown with our bone-chilling episodes featuring blood-curdling stories that will send shivers down your spine. So hit that like button, share the horror with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. In this episode, we bring you a story that will scare you and leave you with goosebumps. This is entitled The Haunting of the Faculty Room, The Boy Who Wasn't There, and it's from Astrid of Niamey, Niger. It was a scorching afternoon in the Philippines, and a weary Filipino educator had just wrapped up her noontime classes. Beads of sweat trickled down her temples as she trudged toward the faculty lounge, feeling the exhaustion of a long day setting in. When she finally arrived at the lounge, her heart leaped with relief upon seeing 2 other educators already there, engrossed in their work. She sighed, grateful for the company, and settled into a worn-out chair, determined to organize her cluttered workspace. The drone of the ceiling fan overhead provided a soothing backdrop as she began sorting through stacks of papers. But despite her best efforts, the day's fatigue weighed heavily on her, like an anchor pulling her toward slumber. The battle to stay awake ensued, but it was a losing one. As the room faded into a hazy blur, she succumbed to exhaustion and decided to steal a moment of rest. She tilted her chair back slightly, closed her eyes, and drifted into a shallow, dreamless sleep. It had only been a brief respite when the harsh, grating sound of a child's voice pierced through the muddled boundaries between dreams and reality. Startled, she jolted awake, her eyes darting around the dimly lit lounge in confusion. There, right in front of her, sat a young boy, no older than 5, cross-legged on the faded linoleum floor. His big, brown eyes were fixed intently on her, sending an inexplicable shiver down her spine. She blinked, convinced it was a figment of her groggy imagination, and turned her back to the child, attempting to resume her interrupted nap. But the boy's relentless fidgeting and animated playfulness prevented her from slipping back into slumber. Frustration mixed with drowsiness, and she reluctantly opened her eyes again, irritated by the disruption. She was met with the same eerie sight, the child still sitting there, his unwavering gaze trained upon her. A growing sense of unease settled over her, like a dark cloud obscuring the sun. She decided to seek help from the other teachers to deal with the child's intrusion. With trepidation, she dragged herself from her chair and shuffled over to the adjacent teachers. As she approached them, she couldn't shake the knot tightening in her stomach. Her words came out in a nervous murmur as she politely requested that someone intervene and keep the child from playing in the lounge. The other educators exchanged confused glances, their expressions mirroring her growing unease. One of them, a veteran teacher with a weary demeanor, spoke in a tone that sent shivers down her spine. He said there shouldn't be any children in the lounge, and a child had not been seen all day. Her heart pounded in her chest as she turned her head to look back at the boy. But in a horrifying twist, he had vanished into thin air, leaving behind a chilling void where he had sat moments ago. Panic surged through her veins like wildfire. Her mind raced to make sense of the inexplicable. Had she been hallucinating? Or had she genuinely come face to face with a supernatural being? In the days that followed, the educator couldn't shake off the lingering unease that had settled within her. The incident had left an indelible mark on her, and she was determined to uncover the truth. She embarked on a quest to dig into the school's history, hoping to unearth answers to the enigma that had unfolded in the faculty lounge. Her research uncovered a grim tale, Years ago, a young child had tragically passed away within the school's walls. Legend had it that the child's restless spirit never left, and some claimed to have seen the young specter wandering the hallways. Haunted by this revelation, the educator felt compelled to confront the inexplicable forces at play. She began to feel a deep connection to the school's history, a sense that the past was entwined with her present. She couldn't ignore the eerie energy that seemed to permeate the very air of the institution. One night, as the moon hung low in the sky, she decided to investigate further. Armed with a flashlight and trembling courage, she ventured into the dimly lit corridors of the school, guided only by the whispers of the past. In the dead of night, she encountered inexplicable phenomena, faint laughter echoing in empty hallways, ghostly apparitions flickering in her peripheral vision, and doors creaking open and closed on their own. The once familiar school had transformed into a haunting maze, a realm where the boundary between the living and the supernatural blurred. As she delved deeper into her quest for answers, she uncovered forgotten stories of students and teachers who had experienced inexplicable encounters over the years. It seemed the school had harbored secrets far beyond her imagination. The educator's journey into the unknown intensified, leading her to a decrepit and long-forgotten storage room in the bowels of the school. There, amidst dusty old books and disheveled paperwork, she stumbled upon a diary, its pages yellowed with age. It belonged to a former teacher who had experienced encounters with the ghostly child. The diary's entries revealed a chilling truth: the child's spirit was not malevolent but lost, seeking connection with the living. The educator's heart ached as she read of the child's loneliness and yearning for companionship. Driven by compassion and a sense of responsibility, she resolved to reach out to the spirit. Armed with the diary's guidance, she conducted a solemn séance within the very faculty lounge where she had first encountered the child. She hoped to offer solace to the restless soul that had haunted the school for so long. As candles flickered and incense filled the air, she spoke softly to the spirit, sharing stories of her own life and experiences. Slowly, a presence manifested before her, the same young boy she had seen that fateful day. But this time, his eyes held not just curiosity but a glimmer of understanding. Tears welled in the educator's eyes as she extended a hand to the child. He hesitated for a moment before reaching out, and their fingers brushed against each other. It was a moment of connection, bridging the gap between the living and the departed. With the child's spirit at peace, the eerie occurrences in the school gradually ceased. The faculty lounge, once a place of inexplicable terror, transformed into a space of tranquility and understanding. The educator had not only unraveled a haunting mystery but also forged a connection with a lost soul, providing the child with the companionship he had yearned for. This spine-tingling tale serves as a reminder that the boundaries between the known and the supernatural can blur, and that compassion and understanding can transcend those boundaries. It encourages us to approach the mysteries of life with an open heart and an unwavering determination to seek the truth, even when it leads us into the darkest corners of the unknown. Will you be brave enough to face the shadows and embrace the mysteries that lie beyond? If this video left you spellbound, dive deeper into the world of chilling tales by joining our channel, Eerie Encounters and Hauntings. Access a treasure trove of bone-chilling stories waiting for you with new episodes 2 times a week. Spread the fear among your friends and family who crave a good scare and give them goosebumps. We'd love to hear your spine-tingling experiences as well, so don't hesitate to share them in the comments. You can also send us your story so we can feature it in one of our future episodes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Stay scared. Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. The stories depicted in this video are shared by people who believe they are true, but they have not been verified. Any resemblance to real people or events is purely coincidental. The views and opinions expressed in this video are those of the people who shared the stories and do not necessarily reflect the views of YouTube, Google, or Facebook. The channel does not endorse the views expressed in this video. This video is not intended to be used as evidence of any supernatural or paranormal activity. If you are experiencing paranormal activity, please contact a qualified professional.